Hey guys, Charlie Murphy here. Thanks for choosing my video. Playing a session of 1-2 no limit 6 max games on Bovada. Games are up and running, so we'll jump right into the action. Table 1 button opens. I'll 3-bet my small blind with queens. Table 2 got a large button open, 3.5x. I'm in the big blind with queen 10, kind of a weird sizing. I think it's still okay to defend my offsuit broadways for that. Table 1, not an ideal flop for queens. Ace, ace, jack. Gonna go ahead and put in a small range bet. Table 2, I'll check, plenty to check, call my top pair on queens, jack, deuce. Table 1, double board pairing card, a jack. I'm gonna go ahead and check. I'm still ahead of like pocket pairs, 10s or below, that now might feel they have little choice but to bluff. Stabs, I'll go ahead and check call at least once. Check to the river. Love to see a check down here. And it's full of that triple with the size ups on the flop and pre-flop. Table 4 gonna open aces in the cutoff. I think I just need the call here. Top open. Table 2 gonna open jack 10 from blind on blind. Gonna check to the big blind over there on the 8-6-5 board. Table 4 gonna go ahead and continuation bet half pot on that low board with my aces. Gonna keep checking my jack high, probably bluff the river. Well, we'll bluff the river on a blank. Got a flush closing turn over there on table 4. I do have the flush blocker. I think it's going to be okay to check back to bluff catch, reopen for thin value on the river, or just turn the fourth heart for the nuts. I'm going to go ahead and blast pot here on this 4 straight river on table 2. He leads out half pot. I've got the ace of hearts in my hand. Going to go ahead and put in a value raise. Take that one down. A short stack recreational player opens on table 3. I've got ace queen suited going to be going after him there. Jams over the top. I think this one is actually a fold. Kinda close here. I think he's a little too deep to stack off ace queen. Was planning to stack off either jacks or tens or better. And ace king, of course. Ace queen suited, I would fold. Absent some action that shows me he gets a little too wacky. Table 4, cutoff open, recreational player calls the button. I've got king jack in the big blind. I'm going to go ahead and call, closing the action multi-way. Table 2, recreational player limps, small blind completes behind. I'm going to go ahead and isolate out of the blinds with ace 10. Recreational player calls, small blind folds on table 2, get a jack 8-4 two-tone board. Not a whole lot going for my hand, but I will go ahead and put in a small continuation bet. Guess I can barrel cards like nines, queens. I can turn top pair. Table 1, going to open ace 10 from the cutoff. Lost my recreational player, so I'm going to go ahead and shuffle that table out here too. Big blind calls, get a king 7-3 rainbow board. I'll go ahead and continuation bet that for a small size. Going to open pocket nines from the cutoff on table 1. Couple players limp over here on table 2. I'm in the small blind with ace queen suited. Going to go ahead and isolate that. Table 1, the big blind calls, checks to me. I'll continuation bet small on jack 8-5 two-tone. Check called. Turn is a flush closing deuce of spades. I'm going to go ahead and check back my nines. River is an ace. Be happy to just go ahead and check this one down. I get the chance, and I check down against the other nines. Table 2, I get called by both limpers. I'm out of position to 2 players. Go ahead and check my range. Great flop for me with jack 10 deuce two-tone giving me the flush draw and the gut shot along with 2 overcards. Checks around. Turn is the ace. It does complete Broadway. I think I can actually just go ahead and keep checking this one to have my check range somewhat protected here. And to underrip my hand. It checks through again. I'm going to go ahead and try to get some value from my good top pair on the river here. Table 4, recreational player open limp, so I isolate from the button with ace 5 suited. He limp calls, get a jack 8-3 rainbow board. I do have a backdoor flush draw. I'll go ahead and continuation bet small. Table 2, open 10-9 from the button. Good turn card for me on table 4. Queen of Hearts giving me a backdoor nut flush draw. I'm going to go ahead and continue barreling. I think we'll use the half pot size here against recreational players. Table 2, going to open ace 9 from the cutoff. And he check raises me small. Very easy continue with the nut flush draw. Probably jam if I hit and bluff more medium-sized if I miss. I think that's a reasonable plan here. Fold against a bet. check, so we'll go ahead and bluff with the busted draw. Table 3 going to open 6s under the gun. Recreational player calls the big blind, get an ace, ace 10 two-tone board. Go ahead and continue. Actually, just check that back because he's kind of short. Was going to continuation bet, but I think I'll check back. Table 4, open ace king from the cutoff. Table 3 checks. I'll check back the 6s. I think I'll start bluffing with them now. I will follow through on a blank. We'll check back if I have a 4 flush on another spade river. Obviously, value betting a 6 for the underfull. Trying to get hands like King X or 10X to call turn fold river with that line. Table 4, opening King Queen suited from under the gun. Recreational player 3-bets me, 3.5x in position. I'm going to be pretty tight against these guys, but King Queen suited is still pretty good, so I think I can defend that. Probably defending hands like Ace Queen, King Queen, and Ace Jack, the suited varieties, and pocket pairs down to about 6s. Flush draw on 10-10-7 two-tone. He opened jams after he jams after I check to him. Just going to go ahead and fold my king high for the 5x pot jam. And he suicide jams with pocket 6s. And shows. Table 2, open ace 10 from the button. Table 3 got ace 5 in the cutoff. It was kind of close. We have a recreational player in the blind, so I'll go ahead and play it. Table 2, recreational player on a half stack calls me. I've got top pair, top kicker on 10-5-4 rainbow. I'm going to go ahead and continuation bet, sizing up with my strong but vulnerable value. Try to get some money in now. A bit more like 3/4 instead of more standard small flop sizing. Table 4 got a middle position open. Recreational player calls in the cutoff. I'm in the big blind with 5-3 suited. It's going to be a very clear call here. The rack out there. Flop and open in a straight draw. King 4 deuce rainbow. No backdoor flush draw, but drawing to the nuts on a 6 or an ace. Doing that small blind player in there as well. That makes too big of a difference on what I'm going to do at that point. Rec stabs half pot, small blind folds. I will call with my draw. Continue checking. 10 of clubs, blank turn. Checks through the turn. I will definitely be bluffing the river. Against the half pot stab, I think I can fold 5 high. Don't want to put myself into a spot on a position here where I'm calling with 5 high, where I have to donk rivers to bluff. It's just going to be okay to fold that one. Table 1, min open from a potential recreational player. In middle position. I'm in the small blind with queen 10, so they're going to 3-bet. With 3-bet a rec or a reg here, either way. Definitely have rec vibes, given that he has played every hand so far and donk bet already in the first 4 hands. Kitty queen 7-5 two-tone board. Going to go ahead and put in my small continuation bet and then go into a check call line. Turn is the board pairing 5. I guess he could have just turned trips if he called with a 5 on the flop, but I'm not going to be too scared of fish having monsters. Going to go ahead and check call. River is the 9. Continue checking. Table 4 opening king 9, blind on blind. He bets out small. He bets small on the river. Just going to go ahead and call. No reason to raise. He's got king jack. My hand is good. Table 4, get a monotone low board, 8-7-5. I'm going to go ahead and check that. Planning to check full, even though I do have a gut shot and an overcard and spades. Guess against a small, but I can talk myself into some floating. I think against half pot, I'm just going to go ahead and fold. Table 3, going to open ace-6 from the button. Recreational player small blind and full stack big blind both come along for a call. I'll get a Broadway flop. I have weak top pair, ace, queen, jack, rainbow. I'll go ahead and check back the flop. Try to get the money against the short stack here. Ideally, now he bets out, ideally that folds out the big blind for me. I can just make him put the rest in. This guy raises, I think I have no choice but to fold. If he calls, it gets a little bit more tricky. Probably still try to squeeze him out of the pot. Folds, I'll put the rest in. Against ace-10, so I'm behind, but I think that's pretty standard play. Board pairs, and I end up with chop. Table 4, open ace-10 from the cutoff. A pretty strong top pair on a rainbow ace-high board, ace-6 deuce. I think I can just start sizing up here against the fish. Try to get money from random weaker ace-x hands. checks. Go ahead and bet 3/4. Get a kind of a dicey turn as it completes some straights. Worse aces like ace-3 just now got there as well. Could even have some screwy two-pair hands like deuce-3, 6-3. Would loved a 10 or higher. 10 obviously for two-pair or higher cards because I'm already behind ace-jack, ace-queen if he's got them. I am going to keep betting here. I'm not going to overbet now as I just don't love that board quite as much as I did on the flop. Table 2, open ace-queen from the cutoff. I'm going to go ahead and re-raise this blind isolation here with my ace-jack suited. Limper goes ahead and puts all the money in, but I get ace-jack, gets a chance to try to outrun king 10. And now that I've got the flush on the turn, it's the nuts. My hand is good. Try to find a new table 3 here. The only real spot at the table was the short stack, who is now Busto. I'm going to open king 8 suited from middle position on table 2. Small blind and big blind both come along. I will check back on the monotone queen 3 deuce board. Probably just check this to the river and perhaps bluff if everyone checks down the entire way. Gets that overbet from the small blind. I'm going to go ahead and fold as fast as I can. Suspected recreational player opens the button on table 2. I'm going to go ahead and defend my queen 8 suited and check the flop. Backdoor pieces on the ace jack 4 two-tone board. Using the quarter pot bet size. That guy's not actually a wreck. I'm not sure what it was that made me initially tag him, but I no longer believe it. I'm going to open king 10 under the gun here. Well, actually, I don't know if I have fish at this table any longer. This one's kind of close. Although that guy pushing the dead money is probably a fish, so I'm going to go after him. Gonna check to the in position caller. The guy posted then called. Gonna check to him on the ace 7-7 board. Stabs 3/4. Just go ahead and fold the king high. I'm gonna open 10-9 from the cutoff on table one with the whale and the blinds. Whale comes along, get an ace 8-4 rainbow board. Donks into me for half pot. I guess I do have a backdoor straight draw at the 8-9-10 pivot, but I just don't think that's strong enough to be floating here. I don't have any kind of overcards or other backdoors. I think I'll fold that one. If it was 10-9 suited with the backdoor flush draw, I would be floating that to play turns. I think I can let that one go on the flop. Probably kind of close, though. Blind on blind, table 3, gonna open 10-6 suited. Big blind calls, gonna check to him on the queen 8 two-tone board. Planning to use check fold 10 high, no backdoors. Real meaningful backdoors. I guess hands like a 9 is kind of a good card. I know I have a double gut shot here on that 9 of clubs, so I'm gonna go ahead and bet that one out. Value bet a 7 or a jack and bluff other rivers. Gonna open Jack 9 suited from the button on table 4 and Ace 3 suited out of the gun on table 2. Shuffle up table 2. Whale limps, isolation raise on table 1. I'll just go ahead and fold queen 8 suited. Gonna open King 9 suited, middle position on table 3. Here's the spot we've been waiting for. Table 1, the whale opens minimum under the gun. I 3-bet my button with pocket kings. Be 3-betting him wide here because he's such a poor player. But calls, getting 9-6 deuce rainbow board. Checks to me. I'll go ahead and continuation bet. We're deep. I'm going to start sizing up now and go 3/4 that are more like a half pot bet. Don't love the board pairing 9 as his top pair is not trips, so I'm going to be checking back. Looking to obviously call rivers or value bet. Table 3 will defend the button open with ace-4. Table 2 going to open 10-8 blind down blind. Now he bet 6 into 40. I'm going to go ahead and try to value raise here. Pop him up 3/4 to 45. Do not want to get jammed on, but I'm not that worried about getting jammed on here. Definitely not worried about getting jammed on as a bluff. That's an easy fold. Not the way I saw that hand going when it started. Life in the big city, I suppose. Table 1, middle position opens, minimum. I'll 3-bet my cutoff with ace-5 suited. Whale cold calls threw it out of position. Initial player calls as well, getting 8-7-6 rainbow board. I do have a low end of the open-ended straight draw. Both players check. I'll check back. Turn us that board pairing 6. Consider starting to bluff here. 3-bet ace-9 suited on table 4 against the middle position open. Took that one down pre-flop. And against the lead and then the raise, I'll go ahead and fold. I was going to float against that quarter-size lead from the whale. Play rivers. Jack-9 in middle position, even with the whale and the blinds, it seems like a little bit of a light open. I'll fold that one. Opening pocket 5s from what is effectively middle position on table 2. It doesn't seem like much signs of life on this table, so I'm going to quit after this hand and look for another one. It's my rec on table 3 also. We'll open pocket kings from the cutoff in the meantime. Small blind 3-bets me about 5x. Got pocket kings, not worried about that at all. And put in my 4-bet here with pocket kings, planning to call off against a jam. Table 4, opening King Jack from middle position. In position player calls and the whale in the small blind calls. Whale in the small blind leads into me for pot. I think I just, obviously don't fold, I think I just flat here with the player behind me against that pot size bet. Let's go ahead and call. In position player folds out. Interesting turn that now my jack is no longer top pair of that ace of clubs. It is a flush closing card as well, but I do still have the pair of jacks, and my king of clubs kicker gives me the nut flush blocker and draw. He checks. I'm very content to check back on that card with my specific holding. We get to the river. River is an offsuit 6. He bets about half pot. I think it's just a standard call here. Could be against worse jacks for sure. I am against Jack 8 with the 8 of clubs kicker, so I was not in any sort of trouble at any point in that hand. Rec open limps the button on table 4. I check in with my 8 deuce. Flop checks through on queen 7 deuce 2-tone. Turner's the 10. I think I'll keep checking my low pair. I could bet this one or check it. I guess it's kind of close. Intent to just try to show down this deuce here. Yeah, the 7. Table 2, can open 8-7 suit. Oh, I can't open it because the cutoff player has already opened, so I'm in the button with 8-7 suited against the cutoff open. Table 2, can open 9-8 from the button. It's a 3-bet. I will lay that one down. Table 2, can open Queen Jack from the cutoff. Whale got stacked on table and leaving on table 4. That's a shame. It's the squeeze with Queen Jack. I'll just go ahead and fold on table 2. Table 4, open 8 ace-4 suited under the gun. I'm sorry, that's middle position. One player is out of commission. This guy has been tight, but I don't know that means a lot through a small sample. This is one of my standard 4-bet hands, so I'm going to go ahead and make my 4-bet. Get a king 7-3 rainbow board after he calls the 4-bet and go ahead and put in a continuation bet. Table 1, cutoff opens, whale calls button. I'll go ahead and call my big blind, closing the action with 10-9 suited. He calls me, turn is a 9, putting a backdoor diamond flush draw up there. I think I'll go ahead and check this one. Really probably checking pretty much everything here. Can check my kings, my aces, my ace-king. Start bluffing the river with some of my air balls, like ace-queen, ace-5, ace-4. I guess I could continue barreling ace-5 or ace-4 of diamonds that have some equity. He stabs small, just go ahead and fold. Heads up for a hand on table 3, open 7-6. Gonna go ahead and continuation bet small on Jack 9 deuce two-tone. Losing my tables bad here. Still have this whale on table 1, so I want to keep the session going if possible. Table 1, open ace deuce suited in the cutoff. Whale on the big blind calls. Get an ace 8-3 two-tone board. He donks into me for half pot. Nothing to do but just call. Turns the board to pairing 8. Not that concerned about him having the 8s. He can be donking with all kinds of things beyond just a piece of the board. He checks, I will check back to try to induce him to bluff the river with his air balls. Jack 7 offsuit that led the flop for some reason. Is there much value in value betting this? I mean, I lose or chalk to aces. I lose to 8s. I lose to flushes. Can I really get enough value from a 10 he stumbled into, or a 3, or some random pair? I think I just take the showdown. Got away from his cutesy trap with the trip 8s. Got some new tables up. They don't look that promising as of quite yet, but we'll give them an arbiter or two and see if anybody starts doing some things that I think I can take advantage of. Table 4, open an 8-7 suited from the button. Another crack at the whale with premiums. On table 1, he min opens under the gun. I 3-bet my button with ace-king. Pick that one down pre-flop. Table 1, got queen 7 suited in the cutoff. Gonna go ahead and open that one. Recreational player big blind comes along, getting ace-6-5 two-tone board. I do have the backdoor flush draw. He bets 1. I'm going to go ahead and float that little tiny min bet here with some backdoor draws. Table 2, blind on blind, 3x open. I'm going to go ahead and 3-bet my pocket jacks. Table 4, 2.5x open from the button. I'm going to defend my big blind with jack 6 suited. Go ahead and check back on table 1 in that flush closing 10. River is a 7. I'm just going to try to show down my pair, and it's good. Table 2, the blind battle. I face a 4-bet. And we are going to just jam the jacks in and let God sort them out. Race and ace-king. Losing the race right now. But I think it on the river. Blind on blind, table 4, opening ace-8. Table 2, opening 10-7 suited from the button. Table 3, opening pocket 9s from the button. Against the 3-bets, I'll fold the 10-7 suited, but pocket 9s I will definitely defend and take the flop. Get an ace-8-6 two-tone board. No club in my hand. I think I still have to defend a hand as strong as pocket 9s here. Turn is an 8 board pairing card, giving me 2 pairs, 9s and 8s. Continues barreling half pot. Ace-high board is a lousy one to try to bluff catch on, so I think this is a spot where I have to actually fold a hand like second pair here. I can still have some 8x, I can have 6s full, quad 8s, some ace x's that can bluff catch, and I've also got a bunch of flush draws. I think pocket 9s becomes a fold. A little nitty, but I think it's okay on that ace-high board where I'm not expecting tons of bluffs. Table 2, gonna open ace 3 suited from under the gun. Middle position, rather, sorry. Get 3-bet by the in position player. I'll go ahead and fold that one. See, one player worth playing against in the pool here, that whale, that's about it. Here we go again, though, with ace-king on that table. Gonna open ace-king from the cutoff. Flop top pair, top kicker on king 4-3. Rainbow, he min bets me again. This time I'm gonna go ahead and just ignore that, treat it like a fancy check, and bet my 3/4 type size here with my nutted but vulnerable value. River or turn is the 7. It does complete some straights or make some 2 pairs like 7-4, but we're not looking for monsters under the bed. We're looking to get value from fish, so I am going to go ahead and overbet here. Just get the money in while the hand is still good against a guy like this. Likely recreational player open limps over here on table 4. As long as we don't get limp re-raised, we can consider him to be a wreck. Limp calls with my ace-king isolation. Get a queen 9-7 two-tone board. Now he goes ahead and bets 1. I'll just go ahead and flat my ace-king high. Now he bets 5 into 9 on that double flush draw board, which I've got no piece of. I think I still have to call here with my overcards. River is the queen. Now when he blasts pot, I'll just fold. Look for an ace or a king for top pair against that sizing. He's still not screaming lots of strength with those small donk bets, so I could look to take it away on the river against the check or some river bet sizes, even with the bluff raise. Against the pot, though, I am just going to be way out of that one. Lost the whale. I think we're going to cut it here at that point. Play one more orbit with position on this guy who looks to be kind of a fish too, but having trouble getting good games right now, so I'm going to shut her down. It was worth looking for more when I had the guy playing 84-36 with all kinds of crazy pre-flop and post-flop decisions, but without him and not many other fish in the pool right now, I think I'll just go do something else for the time being and come back later. Table 4, opening 10-7 suited, blind on blind. Getting ace queen 3 rainbow board. Gonna go ahead and check to the imposition player. Actually check folding, but a smidge of backdoor equity here. Checks back, turn us a board pairing queen that puts a backdoor flush draw up there, but not one that helps me. I'll continue checking. Against the turn stab, just go ahead and check fold. Player who hasn't limped through the first 45 hands now open limps the cutoff. I am in the button with 8-9 suited. This would be a pretty standard isolation against a known fish, obviously. Even if we're being a bit more cautious, I think it's still a fine isolation raise. I'm a little bit spooked about these limp re-raise guys, when this guy has shown no proclivities to be a fish. 18-16, no limps through 45 hands, and now he open limps. That said, I'm still going to go ahead and put in my ices with a reasonable range and just deal with what comes next. Table 4, I also ISO'd the button against the limper. This guy is a known recreational player. I've got Queen Jack and I flop an open ender and 2 overcards on 10-9-4. Gonna go ahead and put in a small continuation bet. Against the limp re-raise, I'll fold. This check calls. Turn is an overcard, ace of diamonds. Going to go ahead and continue semi-bluffing. Lose a half pot size here against the recreational player. Probably bluff the river as well. Don't need to as he folds out. Table 1, opening ace deuce suited from middle position. Last hand on table 1 is ace 3. You can go ahead and fold that one out. One more here on table 4. Last hand on table 4, Jack 7 is a fold under the gun. I'm going to go ahead and shut this table down and cut the video. Signing off for now. This is Charlie Murphy. See you next time.